What's shaking, Rebels fans? It's Andy Gutierrez. We're inside Lucasfilm headquarters. This week, Darth Maul returned and he brought the Night Sisters with him. So now I'm going to give you so much behind-the-scenes information, your eyes will glow green. Don't believe me? They will. This is Rebels Recon. Ezra experiences apparitions of Maul on Chopper Base, only to have him reveal himself in front of the Bendu.
You think I came here to fight? I came here to speak.
Seeking additional information gleaned from the joining of the holocrons, Ezra and Maul conjure the Night Sisters on Dathomir.
Don't let them touch you! Now you tell me!
But when Sabine and Kanan arrive, they become possessed, forcing Ezra to vanquish the Night Sisters and discover the clue he was looking for, along with a long-lost relic. This week, the Rebels were once again visited by Maul. I sat down with the crew to talk about the connection between Ezra and Maul, Sabine and the Darksaber, the Night Sisters chamber, and so much more. Check it out. In Visions and Voices, Ezra seems to be having visions of Maul. Is this something that Maul is doing? Is this a natural occurrence in the Force, or is Ezra just kind of losing it?
With the Force, it's very mysterious. Ever since they had their interaction with the holocrons, there's a little bit of a lingering presence of Maul.
Maul went off and processed his experience, and in doing so realized that in joining the holocrons, he linked himself to Ezra. The visions are entirely manufactured by Maul, and they're manufactured by Maul as Maul's getting closer and closer and closer to Ezra.
Even if that bond didn't exist, I think Maul represents this scary thing to Ezra, that when he's overworked and overstressed, it'll creep back into his thoughts.
There seem to be a lot of personal items of Maul's inside this Night Sister chamber. Has he been living there?
Yeah, and you think about it, he came back home and he found a dead planet. He's living in a cave of ghosts, and what does he have but relics from his past?
He has been haunted by Kenobi since episode 1, and he's not one to forget where his downfall began. And so this idea that he's been collecting threads to one day finally exact his revenge is basically embodied by his trove of items.
We've seen Force spirits in the past. What was the process of creating the special Night Sister look?
We had a sense that it was some sort of glowing green mist that wasn't purely just steam-like. It had sort of a tendril, almost sort of living quality to it. You had to sort of believe that this was some type of power that is a version of the Force that is very different to what the Jedi use.
Both Maul and the Rebels now know about Obi-Wan. Can you give us any hints about where this is leading?
They do both know about Obi-Wan, but I think there's still a great deal to be learned about why. Obviously, Ezra has a very simplistic view of why Obi-Wan is part of his vision, but for Maul's motivations, that's something that probably is going to be more complicated.
The very last shot sees Sabine picking up the Darksaber, which is awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about the meaning of the Darksaber and what it can mean to Sabine now that she has it?
The Darksaber is the line that connects Jedi history and Mandalorian history. Dave has given it a lot of thought as far as what it means, where it came from. Specifically to Sabine, it's an item of power, it's an item of authority. It was what allowed Pre Vizsla to rule Death Watch. It was his symbol of status. And now she has that symbol of status. We were talking about earlier is what would it take to unite Mandalorian clans? Or what would it take for her to be able to say, no, follow me? And now she has something that they'll listen to.
What? Dude, what is... Alright, that's... Stop. Enough of that. You are not British. This is not a monocle. This is a broken camera lens. You went to London like 6 months ago, and you've been a jerk ever since. What happened? Wait, what? Star Wars questions are like coffee. They keep you alert. They sometimes give you the shakes, but they're always satisfying. That's why I'm gonna go check in with the Lucasfilm Story Group's Pablo Hidalgo to get some Star Wars answers that are always good to the last drop. Hey, Pablo. Oh, that looks really nice. Good job.
Yeah, no, it turned out great.
Yeah, it did. Can you take a break for a social question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're gonna go with 2 this week.
Oh, okay.
Hans NCT asks, why wouldn't the rebels on Hoth use rocket launchers against the AT-AT or AT-AT legs? Were those more advanced walkers?
Well, the walkers that Darth Vader lands on Hoth are different than the walkers that we've seen in Rebels. The ones in Rebels are taller and evidently more vulnerable to rocket launchers.
All right, cool. Thanks, Pablo. Next question comes from Colin Simpson. He asks, in this episode, we see the Empire producing AT-DPs, but where are the AT-STs that we see in the Rogue One trailers?
Well, one thing you should know is that the AT-ST did not replace the AT-DP. They're 2 different walkers built around the same time and in use at the same time.
Thanks, Pablo. That was really helpful.
All right.
And your tree looks great.
Thank you. See you next year.
Have more questions about Visions and Voices or any other Rebels questions you want answered? Tweet them to @StarWars using the hashtag RebelsRecon and we'll answer what we can online. But since we're going on winter break and I can't let you go through the hiatus without something, here's a look at what you can expect in the second half of the season straight from the people who made it. Check it out. What are you looking forward to most in the second half of the season?
Okay, you've seen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the, and then we're gonna bring in.
There's so much cool stuff that's going to happen in the second half. We get more of a sense of what Thrawn is up to, what his calculating sense is, what he's conjuring up for our heroes. It's going to be super exciting.
Oh, and what Thrawn doesn't know is.
No way.
By the time we get into the second half, the world will have seen Rogue One, and we're going to be able to talk more freely about certain elements that are in that movie and how it connects to Rebels.
You've watched the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember episode?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that arc, there's the, and then if we can, we're actually going to bring in the entire.
Thanks for watching Rebels Recon. We'll be back next year with a brand new episode. In the meantime, check out the episode guide for Visions and Voices on StarWars.com on Monday, and if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and download the Star Wars app. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.